Shanti, are you all happy? So, this ongoing Ukraine Russia war sees no chance of ending in the near future. Though there are many reasons on both sides to do what they are doing now, the simple obvious reason that this war will see no sign of ending at all is mainly because Russia and America has a very strong need to show their dominance. So that is why this war is all about. It is more like a war between Russia and America, and Ukraine becomes a victim. So Putin says that it is his duty to protect his nation. He doesn't want America to install their army anywhere near to them. But America feels that it is necessary for them to protect other nations if war broke out in the near future. That's why they install. So they both seem to have their own justifications. So from day one, Russia has been warning of nuclear war if this continues, if America keeps supporting Ukraine in this war. And the America is under immense pressure to prove their dominance in the world arena because they were already viewed to be weak when they withdrew their army from Afghanistan. And if America stops helping Ukraine in supplying the weapons for war, then all other NATO nations is going to consider America to be someone whom we can never rely on. So that is also another reason Biden is not stopping helping Ukraine. In which case, if he does stop supplying weapons to Ukraine, this war will definitely end. That will definitely prevent many more murders of innocent people. So this clearly shows nobody really cares about the lives of innocent people. All they care about is their ego. And even Russia can put an end to this war immediately, but still it doesn't want to do that because it doesn't want to look inferior in front of the world that it could not even handle Ukraine. So, as he has been warning from the beginning, nobody will be surprised if he uses nuclear weapons by the end of this war. And also Putin said that he is going to force his people, some 300,000 of his people, to join the army, for which he is facing huge protest from his own country. So they are protesting against Putin. Many were arrested for holding protests. But the funny thing is, even Ukraine forced its people to join the war by blocking the borders. But I don't think Russia did it till now. But nobody in Ukraine resisted the Ukraine president's decision for forcing people to participate in the war. If they did, maybe this war might not have started, or even if it has started, it wouldn't have lasted this long. Many would have been saved. Nobody can predict the next step in the war. So nobody would have predicted that Russia will be facing such consequences as a result of going to a war. Who knows, maybe America will face the same consequence anytime soon. It can happen to any part of the world. So is there any place called the safest on earth? I guess not. Because we are at the brink of the destruction of this old world. The Third World War is just going to be one of the contributions to the destruction of the world, and there will be natural calamities as well. So all of these things will definitely happen sooner or later. So where can we go to be safe? So this is Kali Yuga, the world, because of the accumulation of sins among people. The world has to get destroyed. So the only way to escape from all the sorrowful things that's going to happen in the near future, we need to escape from this earth itself. Where can we go? So by saying escaping from this earth, I mean the soul has to escape from this body to this subtle world that is in between this physical world and the soul world, where the soul originally resides along with God. This is the golden red colored light world. It is where we souls that shines like a tiny star in between the eyebrows reside along with the God before taking birth in earth. In the beginning, this world was heaven, where there is absolutely no sign of sorrow or pain of any sort. We didn't have any diseases, not even headache. We were very beautiful. We were blessed with wealth, health, and everything that we need to lead a happy life. So that was the kind of world we lived for the first 2500 years. And what follows heaven is hell, where we start committing sins in the beginning, and over the course of time we start experiencing punishment for the sins we have committed. So that's how we lose beauty, we lose health, and there is no peace in the family, in the nation, in the world. So all this happens because of the sins that we've been committing in the form of lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. You know why we started committing sins only in hell and not in heaven? Because in heaven we were soul conscious, which means we considered ourselves to be the soul that shines like a tiny star in between the eyebrows, which is why Hindus have this habit of applying religious symbols in between the eyebrows. So it is the soul that sees through the eyes, speaks through the mouth, performs all actions through this body. We are constantly aware of that for the first 2500 years. We consider ourselves to be the souls, we consider others to be the souls, so we were not attracted to the external beauty of humans or anything external to them. Since they were constantly aware of themselves, that is, their soul, they experienced constant happiness because the true nature of the soul itself is blissfulness and peacefulness. So that was the case for the first 2500 years. After that, we slowly become body conscious. We forget that we are originally souls. So that's when we start seeking happiness from the external environment, because we can no longer experience happiness from within because we are no longer soul conscious. So that's how we become addicted to sensual pleasures and then addicted to five vices: lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. That's how we start committing more and more sins that leads to the world we live in now. So now we have become so selfish and so egoistic that we don't even care about the destruction of thousands and thousands of lives as we see in this Ukraine war. Whether America wins in this war, whether Russia wins in this war, It is undoubtedly, it is Ukraine that's going to suffer the most, that has already been suffering the most. Even the victim, Ukraine can easily stop this war by surrendering themselves to Russia. That will definitely prevent further more deaths. If anyone involved in this war, say America, Russia, or Ukraine, truly care for the lives of people, they would have done what is needed to put an end to the war. But we can't expect them to be taking care of other people at this time of the world. So that is why I'm saying it is essential to become soul conscious by remembering God as a point of light. Actually, this is the essence of the teaching God gives when He comes 100 years before the destruction of the Kali, which is now. So He says it is because you were soul conscious in the beginning that you had no selfish thought, no vicious thought, so you didn't hurt each other. Instead, you were just spreading love to everybody. Not only you, but even animals, they were loving to each other, which is why in Quran and Bible it is mentioned that cow and lion take water from the same pond together, which means even animals like lion and tiger don't feed on other animals. They were feeding only on grass as mentioned in the first chapter of Bible. So it is the same soul that lives in this world that is going to become eligible to take birth in heaven, because after the destruction of this world is going to be the establishment of the new world. So that is why God comes and gives this knowledge and makes us eligible to enter heaven. How can we become eligible? By possessing the divine qualities that we originally possessed in the beginning. So how do we do that? So that is why God Himself comes and enters an old man's body and gives these teachings called Murli, which is available absolutely free of cost in all Brahmakumaris Rajoga Meditation Center that is spread across the globe. So the essence of God's teaching is to consider ourselves to be the eternal soul and not this imperishable body. And then we need to remember God as a point of light as much as possible. By remembering God more and more, our sins, more and more of our sins get destroyed. That is how we become divine. We start expressing divine qualities, and also we become free of devilish qualities that we possessed before getting this knowledge. So if you stay divine, if you stay humble, which happens only by you becoming soul conscious, that you become protected from this dangerous old world. Say, if the Ukraine leader was humble, obviously he would have protected his citizens. If the Russian president stays humble, obviously there would be no war. At least if America stays humble, it would have said what Russia demanded, so that there would be no chance of this war at all. It is because of the lack of humbleness that they are in such a grave situation. They are actually destroying each other. So this war is represented in Mahabharata, that Yadavas destroy each other, they kill each other. So that is what we are saying in this Ukraine-Russian war. But we ordinary people cannot do anything about it. All we can do is to remember God as a point of light and purify ourselves, because if we become pure, obviously will not be punishment. We are punished because of the impurity we have accumulated by committing sins. So it is by having constant remembrance of God and keeping our mind busy with the knowledge of God called Murli that we become pure very quickly. So that is the true protection for us. Not only that, if you become fully pure, then you will be leaving this body from this old world so that you can escape into this subtle world with your subtle body where you are absolutely free of any danger. Not only that, you will have no attraction towards anything in this world. Only then you will be able to leave this world without taking rebirth in the world again. So that is why you need to establish all the relationships only with God and not with any humans or not with anything in this world. Because if you do, then you will be taking birth again in this world because you want something from this world. So you need to detach yourself completely from this old world, and that is possible only by attaching yourself 100% only with God Shiva. That God Shiva is called Allah by Muslims and Heavenly God Father by Christians. God is one, and He comes only once and gives this knowledge only once, which is now. So make full use of that. So that gives you protection from this world and also make you eligible to enter heaven, which is going to be filled with nothing but happiness. So it is very essential for you to detach from everybody. It is as if you are already dead to this world. You no longer have a body. That is how you should consider yourself. You should consider only to be the soul without the body, so that you have no attachment towards your own body and all other bodily relations, because nobody knows how much sins everybody else from our family has committed. So obviously they will be facing the consequences. So we can't do anything to stop it. All we can do at the max is to give them this knowledge. If they take it serious, they will be protected. If they don't take it serious, then we can't do anything. But we have to protect ourselves by detaching ourselves from everything and everybody in this world. That is how you can escape from this world. Or else, if you know what happens in Russia and Ukraine when men are forced to go to war, girls cry, and girls went out of Ukraine to save their child. So that is the true hell for them. We've been saying it is already hell, but you don't have to wait to realize that this is hell only after facing similar situation that's happening in Ukraine and many parts of the world. Hold on to God and read God's Murli daily and keep your mind busy with the God's knowledge, so that will help you purify yourself, so that you will spread only love to everybody without any attachment, because that's essential. If you are attached to others, then obviously you are going to get hurt when they are punished for their past sins, because that will definitely happen. Om Shanti. Thanks for watching.